Question 3, Monica Lennon.
Thank you. To ask the Scottish Parliamentary Corporate Body, in light of recent reports regarding sexual harassment, whether it will initiate an independent review of reporting procedures and parliamentary culture.
Jackson Carlo.
Can I thank the member for the question? The Parliament commitment to diversity was underlined by the publication of its Diversity and Inclusion Strategy in February of this year, and a Diversity and Inclusion Board will be overseeing the implementation of this strategy. That's why that board has been asked to review the procedures for reporting and investigating harassment. The board is co-chaired by 2 members of the Parliament's leadership group. It is made up of representatives from the Parliament's 6 equality networks, the Parliament's trade unions, and an external board member, Professor Sir Jeff Palmer, a prominent academic and currently honorary president of the Lothians Regional Equality Council. In addition, we're very pleased to report today that Emma Rich from Engender will be providing advice to the board on this work. We will also be issuing a survey to all those working at Holyrood and in members' local offices to help us understand the issues and the barriers that exist and to build up a picture of the overall culture within the Parliament and across the political parties. We will be seeking external, expert advice in drawing up this survey, analysing the results and in looking at our next steps.
Monica Lennon.
I thank the member for his reply. Reporting sexual assault or speaking about sexual harassment is never easy, and unlike some inaccurate media reporting, what we are all discussing today is not a sex scandal but an abuse of power, usually by senior men over women. Our Parliament and our own parties have been rocked by serious allegations. None of us as politicians can dare to try and score points. I welcome the steps that are being taken by the Scottish Parliament, an anonymous phone line, a confidential survey, posters and a 24-hour counselling service. All of it is very practical and very welcome. Last Tuesday at Topical Questions, I stood here and said that unless we understand how difficult it is for women, and I include myself, to come forward with complaints, given our fear that we will not be believed or supported, unless we recognise that we are dealing with a cultural problem, then we'll never fully resolve this abuse of power. Last week I said nothing short of an independent review would do, and I welcome some of the progress that's been made to come towards that, including news today that the Standards Procedures and Public Appointments Committee will be launching an inquiry into how the Parliament deals with the incidents of sexual harassment and what procedures, rules and support is available. But on its own, that isn't going to be sufficient either. So whilst I appreciate that experts, including Emma Rich, who I'm a big fan of, by the way, will be taking part, does the corporate body agree that we do need to make it very clear and show that what we are doing is independent from MSPs? You know, the committee that I mentioned, again, I admire your work, but again, it's 5 men and 2 women. So can we do everything that we can to show that we are taking independent steps to look at every single part of this, the culture, the procedures, the policies and the support?
Jackson Carlo.
I understand and sympathise with the sentiments underpinning Monica Lennon's supplementary. The purpose of this survey is, in the first instance, to try and appreciate in some detail the actual scope of the issue and the range of issues that we may, as a Parliament, have to face. And obviously we'll have an opportunity, when we see the analysis of that, to be able to understand what next steps we might take. I think it is important, or useful at least, to say at this stage that we are actually working at the moment on the structure of that survey. We want to get it out before the end of the month. And so members present here today who may be able to, or have ideas as to questions that might be included, or the way questions might be included within that survey, their thoughts would be very welcome by the corporate body as we take this work forward.